Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time for a Partners in Cream Project Pan update. All of the project details will be in the show notes, along with links to the creators Steph Lyons and DaLin. But the basic premise of this project is that we focus on using our cream and liquid cosmetics because they do tend to expire faster than our powder products. So before we get into things today, normally I try to at least gather my thoughts before I record a video, and I have not had any time. I have been running around like a crazy person since November 3rd, and it's not going to end until December 23rd. So I'm a little bit chaotic right now, which means there will be timestamps in case you want to skip to the good stuff, whatever the good stuff is for you. But basically, I thought we'd start today with a little bit of a story time, because I believe that I was accosted by the ghost of Christmas bitterness. I realize that's kind of a weird claim to make, so let me back up a little bit. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have already been aware of this, but last week I had a particularly stumbly moment, and I quite literally had a run-in with my kitchen door. I ran into it with my nose. And that caused a nasty cut and some bruising on the bridge of my nose. And luckily, it doesn't hurt as long as I don't touch it. But if I do touch it, it's kind of tender. So I have not been wearing any makeup on this area of my face because, number one, it hurts to touch. But second of all, because I want to make sure that this doesn't scar, because this was kind of like a tricky kind of cut. I think it's healing well, but I don't want to bother it. I want to leave it be. So I haven't been wearing makeup. Don't know if you'll be able to see, but here is makeup free. At this point, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so you told us you were accosted by a ghost because you don't want to admit how clumsy you are. And, I could see why you'd think that, especially because if I do end up getting a scar on my nose, can you imagine how lame that is if someone's like,
oh, how'd you get that cool scar on your nose?
And I'm like, I ran into my kitchen door. That's the lamest scar story ever. It's much cooler to say, oh, a poltergeist did it. Well, I'm not sure if it's cooler, but it's at least more interesting. Anyway, like I said, haven't planned this video. So yeah, maybe I was just clumsy and I ran into my kitchen door. And I could believe that statement if that were the only incident of door-related violence in the past week. But I'm telling you, every single person who has entered my home in the past week has been injured by a door to the face. Coincidence? I think not. Here's my theory. I don't decorate my home for the holidays because I'm not typically home enough this time of year to enjoy it. So I have a theory that the ghost of Christmas something was just kind of going through the neighborhood, checking out the festive decorations, and realized there are no decorations here, and now they're bitter. And so now my home is being haunted by the Christmas poltergeist who just likes to smack people in the face with the doors. So maybe next year I'll have to decorate to prevent this from happening. But now, enough insanity. Let's get to the makeup. First off, I used my Roen 75 Degrees Warm palette a total of 7 times, which for a serial palette hopper like myself is pretty decent progress. Plus, I do find that these Roen Quads make excellent companion palettes, so almost every time I've used this, I have used this to complete a look. And I think that's what makes these little quads so great, is that they're not only wonderful on their own, but they can add a little pfiff to something else. Next up, we have my Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, which I have in the shade Ecru, and I used this a total of 22 times in the past month. I do think that I would have used it more had it not been for the incident, but 22 uses is a number I'm satisfied with. When it comes to my Gucci lip balm, which I have in the shade Ester Rosewood, I used this a total of 23 times in the past month. Now, I have come to a strange realization, and that is, all of the Gucci lipsticks have a kind of sweet violet candy scent, which is pretty strong, but in essence, I do like it. I just wish it wasn't so strong I could taste it. I think that's what it is. But in general, I like the scent. These lip balms, at least in this shade, this doesn't seem to have that scent, which at first I thought was great. But recently, I've been thinking it smells like blood. Then again, that is only since the incident. So I am wondering, is my nose haunted? Or is my lipstick haunted? Or am I crazy? I don't know, but I've been wearing it anyway, so I don't know what that says about me. My Hourglass Illume Sheer Color Trio saw 23 uses this month, which enabled triple pan. Now, normally at this point, I sing some sort of clever ditty, but I haven't had time to even think one up, so we're going to improvise it on the spot. Let's say, I've hit triple pan wherever I may glow. There isn't a pan too deep, product so high it could keep me away from my glow. And now I'm feeling really crazy. And last but not least, we have my Gucci gloss stick, otherwise known as the Rouge de Beauté Brillant in the shade Linnet Stone. This color makes me feel like a cool girl every time I wear it, so it has been very easy to use it 26 times in the past month. And this, by the way, does have that typical violet candy scent, which means at least my nose isn't haunted by the poltergeist, because it can smell the violet candy here, even if this one does smell like blood. Maybe this is just haunted. Anyway, this has been the somewhat chaotic and slightly anticlimactic season finale of the Partners in Cream Project Pan. But there is something that this project continues to teach me, and that is that it is very worth it to just focus on using my most favorite things. Because I mean, I haven't bought a new foundation in over 2 years now, and I'm still going strong in the foundation department. Same thing with lipsticks. These are the beautiful things that I had been saving. They were just waiting in my drawer, and now I've been using them all year, and it's been so much fun. And if it takes me that long to go through products, I shouldn't be wasting my time with the ones that don't work quite as well for me. And that just gives me even more motivation to kind of shuffle the things out that maybe don't perfectly suit my skin tone or my skin type, and maybe give them away to people who would really get a ton of enjoyment out of them, so that I can spend even more time just using and enjoying these gorgeous goodies here. But that's nothing new. It's just something that I find I have to learn over and over again, which seems insane because it's quite a simple lesson. But for some reason, I think I just have a thick skull. Good thing, because I got hit by a door. But, you know, sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to learn these simple lessons. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But even if you don't, I hope you have a great week. And we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.